Now, for many of you, you know us as being either at the Bunyaad Marketplace in downtown Lidditz, Pennsylvania, or at one of the fair trade rug events across the US and Canada. Maybe be it in Cobourg, Ontario, all the way to Pasadena, California. So today, just to sort of help to transform you from the boarding gates all the way to Pakistan, I thought we'd have Amr, who is currently in Lidditz, Pennsylvania, joining us. And I thought he'd give you a quick, like, hey, this is what you're used to seeing Jenni and Yousaf standing in. So, hey, Amr, how are you?
Hey guys, hi everyone.
I hear it's a busy week in Lidditz.
Yes, it is the Fire and Ice Festival, so I'm gonna just switch the screen around and show you guys what's going on here. All right. So today is the Fire and Ice and Festival here today. Lots of people coming into the store. This is what the store looks like, where we all normally are, and our special display of Fire and Ice rings for Lidditz. Yes.
So, Amr, I thought since so many people normally who are joining us today normally see our rugs on piles where we're just flipping through, what I thought we'd do is, since we're taking this magical mystery tour over to Pakistan, we thought like part of the boarding process should be you waving your magical wand, aka flipping through a couple rugs, showing some gorgeous pieces, and then poof, everyone will be here in Pakistan with me. How's that sound?
All right. Well, how about I flip through this 9x12 tribal pile just to show you a few corners of what we do. And this is our 9x12 pile.
Oh, I love these colors. Oh, that one's so bright. Yeah.
Look at this. And then we go through these piles. Anytime a customer comes in, we flip through. And believe me, there are times that we pull rugs out and show them the bottom one from the pile. And they absolutely love it. On a busy day like this.
Awesome.
Yes.
On a busy day. Well, of course. Well, Amr, I am so glad you could help magically transport people from where they're normally used to seeing us to here. So best wishes for you today in Lidditz, folks. If you are in Lidditz, Pennsylvania or nearby, head over to see Amr and the crew. It's a great time of year to see that. And if not, well, you're here with us. So see you later, Amr. All right.
See you guys.
Well, as I said, Yousaf and I are here in Lahore this month. We are here tonight at the Bunyaad Warehouse and Finishing Center in downtown Lahore. It is 10 p.m. at night, and yes, the place is just brimming with folks that work here. My personal favorite, someone asked me, really? They're all here at 10 o'clock? Yes, because they want to be, and because they are so thrilled that you are joining us here tonight, and they're anxious to get to know you as you get to know them. Now, I also would like to tell you, we have our colleagues Laura and Sandra, who are joining us from St. Catharines, Ontario, and they will be filling the role of remote tour facilitators. How do you like that, Laura and Sandra, for your title?
Great. Sounds great. It's so professional.
So that everyone knows here where all of you are joining us from tonight, we would love if you would put in the chat right now where you're currently sitting. And then Laura and Sandra are going to read that out loud so that the team here with me on the first floor of the finishing department will be listening, as well as the folks on the fourth floor. So tell us where you're joining us from. Put it in the chat.
Looks like we've got Derek from Cobourg. We've got Montreal, Canada. We have Calgary, Toronto. Let's see. Quakertown, Pennsylvania. Chicago, Illinois. Louisville, Kentucky. The Chapmans from Ephrata. Orenburg, Missouri. Wilmington, Delaware. Nancy from Waterloo, Ontario. Parksburg, Pennsylvania. Willow Street, Pennsylvania. York, Pennsylvania. And from Chicago, Oak Park. Karen from Redondo Beach, California. George from Ottawa, Ontario.
So let me just have someone translate that here for my group. Kessler, do you want to tell the crew here with us tonight that where they're coming from East Coast US to West Coast Canada and every place in between?
सारे लोग अमेरिका तो कनाडा तो नेशनल कनाडा और अमेरिका तो दोनों साइड
So this might be the only boarding gate that has people from so many places boarding. So thank you for joining us. Now, we got a great group today, as I told you. So we would love you to sit back, but
Oh, it looks like we might have lost Jenny for a second. So we are actually going to show a video of the rug finishing room in the day. Oh, Jenny, are you back? Oh. One thing about running cameras in Canada and Pakistan and Lidditz is that we sometimes run into some
seatbelts and get ready to take off for the 4th floor. No problem. Okay, so we're gonna like transport you to the 4th floor, but first we have some in-flight entertainment. So hit it for the in-flight entertainment.
समझ नहीं आउंदी बचपन दे दिन किधर गए वारो वारी हण दे हाणी वारो वारी हण दे हाणी विछड़ गए समझ नहीं आउंदी बचपन दे दिन किधर गए कुछ मरे विच देस ते कुछ परदेसां विच कट्ठियां नहीं सी रल के बहना लिखिया साडियां लेखां दे विच टुट गई माला मोतियां वांगर टुट गई माला मोतियां वांगर खिलर गए समझ नहीं आउंदी बचपन दे दिन किधर गए फटियां बसते पैरियां विच लकांदे एक दूजे कोल मच्छियां खो खो खांदे सां कुछ पड़ गए कुछ साडे वांगू कुछ पड़ गए कुछ साडे वांगू विगड़ गए समझ नहीं आउंदी बचपन दे दिन किधर गए कद मुक जावन की तुबार न सावां दे कद मुक जावन की तुबार न सावां दे मिट्टी खा गई किन्ने बचड़े मावां दे असां भी ओथे ही जाना है सारे असां भी ओथे ही जाना है सारे किधर गए समझ नहीं आउंदी बचपन दे दिन किधर गए वारो वारी हण दे हाणी वारो वारी हण दे हाणी विछड़ गए समझ नहीं आउंदी बचपन दे दिन किधर गए समझ नहीं आउंदी बचपन दे दिन किधर गए वारो वारी हण दे हाणी वारो वारी हण दे हाणी विछड़ गए समझ नहीं आउंदी बचपन दे दिन किधर गए कुछ मरे विच देस ते कुछ परदेसां विच कट्ठियां नहीं सी रल के बहना लिखिया साडियां लेखां दे विच टुट गई माला मोतियां वांगर टुट गई माला मोतियां वांगर खिलर गए
Now landing on the 4th floor. So we will be having a question and answer session at the end. So if you do have questions that arise as you're here tonight, please put the questions in the chat. And then at the end, we'll be asking you to ask your questions. So without further ado, Yousaf, I think you are on the 4th floor.
I am on the fourth floor with the whole rug finishing through. And we have, I am with Wahid, who's in charge of the finishing. And basically, we're gonna have a little chat with Wahid, who's been part of the Bunyaad, the finishing department for how many years? Guinness Logan. 17 years. So he says, अपना कितनी देर बुनियाद पे कितनी देर काम कर रहे हैं? 12 साल हो गए बुनियाद से काम कर रहे हैं। बुनियाद, yes, so I've been working with Bunyaad for 17 years. इससे पहले कितने काम किया और कितना बार काम किया? Small carpet, small corporation है उससे काम करता है मैं तो 10-12 काम किया था। Worked at the other place called Small Carpet. Basically worked there for 10 to 12 years.
ਉੱਥੋਂ ਦੇ ਮਾਦੇ ਜ਼ਮੀਨ ਸਮਾਨ ਫਰਕ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਜਦੋਂ ਖਰੀਦਦੇ ਨੇ ਵੇਚਦੇ ਨੇ ਸੁੱਟੀ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਚੀਜ਼ ਚੈੱਕ ਕਰਨੀ
you know, other places they basically rug comes in and keeps getting finished and there's very little check on the quality. Here everything gets checked from, you know, from the beginning to the end, and there's so many levels of quality check, so it's not just one place that we're talking everybody makes sure that rug is certified in quality. बुनियाद पे फिर अपना काम करके की फर्क नजर आया
ਸਰਵਰ ਭਾਂਜੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਬਾਹਰ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੰਮ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਲੋ ਹੈ ਹੁਣ ਉਹ ਕੰਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮਿਆਰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਛੱਡਿਆ ਇਹ ਮਜ਼ੀਦ ਨੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਿਹਤਰ ਕੀਤਾ
So Bunyaad's work is only improving by the day. Everywhere else the quality has gone down, whereas Bunyaad is constantly improving the quality because we're all working together as a team. Trying to figure out solutions for every problem. हर मसले दा हल है तुसी सारे इकट्ठे सोचते मिसाल तौर पे शुरू जो होया देखिए केड़ा काम आंदा सी सिर्फ what did you know when you started at Bunyaad? That's
ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਇਆ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੰਮ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਸੀ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਦਾ
so when I just came here I used to do just stretching and finishing
ਤੇ ਭਾਈ
and you know just the finishing yeah
ਤੇ ਉਹ 24 ਕਨਾਰਾ ਬਾਅਦ ਮੇਰੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੰਮ
He said, since then, I've learned to do everything from, you know, from edging to finishing to, there's many levels of finishing. So I've learned all of it. And that's the best part of this whole team, that everybody's cross-trained for everything. So this way, their viability, even from beyond Bunyaad, is huge because they can choose to go anywhere and do any kind of work of Bunyaad based on the original finishing that he used to do. Bunyaad to come करके की फर्क पाया नहीं जरा मेन तारी फैमिली ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਅਸਰ ਪਿਆ
ਇਹਦਾ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਦੇ ਭਾਂਜੀ ਅਸਰ ਪਿਆ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੀਲੇ ਦੇ ਮੁਤਾਬਕ ਹੁਣ ਖੁਸ਼ਹਾਲ ਆ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਮਸਲਾ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਉਸੇ ਟਾਈਮ ਸਾਡਾ ਹੱਲ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ
working with Bunyaad means that you know our whole family is doing well. We are living a much healthier, financially healthier life. Everything that comes in the way of problem gets resolved immediately. If it needs to be higher wages and if any issues come up, we work as a family. So it's always about working together to sorting out any problems or any issue that needs to be resolved.
ਇਹ ਫਰਕ ਜੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਕੋਈ ਮਸਲਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਕੰਮ ਚ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇੱਕ ਮਸ਼ਵਰਾ ਦੇਣਾ ਕਰੀਦਾ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਮਤਲਬ ਨੁਕਸਾਨ ਕਰਨੇ ਤੇ ਕੀ ਇਹਦਾ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੱਲ ਹੋਣਾ ਫਿਰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਸ਼ਵਰਾ ਲਾਇਆ ਜਾਏ ਜੋ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬਿਹਤਰ ਹੋਵੇ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ
So basically, you know, even as a finishing department, they said it's the issue of whatever comes in the way of problem. We work together. So if everybody is there to give their input and that issue gets resolved for good. So, but at the same time, everybody knows how to do that, how to resolve that issue in the going forward.
So you
Yeah. So how about your kids? ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਦੱਸੋ
ਮੇਰੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਬੱਚੀ 13 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ 7ਵੀਂ ਚ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਸੀ
So my oldest daughter, she's 13. and she's in 7th grade.
ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਛੋਟੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਪਹਿਲੀ
And then the next,
ਸਾਲ ਦੀ
Satali,
8 ਸਾਲ
so next one is 8 years old, and she's in first grade now.
ਉਹ ਤੋਂ 6 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ prep
And then six-year-old, the third daughter, she's in a prep school.
ਇੱਕ ਮੇਰਾ ਬੇਟਾ 5 ਸਾਲ ਦਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਹਾਲੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਚ ਦਾਖਲ ਕਰਾਇਆ
And then the boy is 5 years old, and he's not in school yet, but soon he's going to be in school.
ਇੱਕ 1.5 ਸਾਲ ਦਾ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਹਾਲੇ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੋਢਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਭੇਜਿਆ
And then, yeah, I also have a 1.5 year that we still carry him around on our shoulders, so he's not there yet. But that's
He's
how.
busy.
That's, yeah, gotta be both Masrouf and then सारे बच्चे हैं ना बड़ी मसरूफ जिंदगी गुजरती है
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੀ
अपनी बीवी ने मतलब भी ਉਹਦਾ ਕੀ ਕੰਮ ਸ਼ਮਲਾ
ਉਹ ਕੰਮ ਭਾਵੇਂ
So how about your wife? Tell us more about your wife.
ਸਕੂਲ ਸਵੇਰ ਮੈਂ ਛੱਡ ਕੇ ਆਇਆ ਨਾ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ
So he takes the kids to school,
ਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਕੂਲੋਂ ਛੁੱਟੀ ਹੋਈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਣਾ
then his wife brings them back from school,
ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਖਾਣਾ ਖਾ ਕੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਛੱਡ ਕੇ ਆਣਾ ਐਗਜ਼ੀਬਿਸ਼ਨ
and then after having lunch, she takes them to another school where they get extra help with the education, because many kids have a dropout rate issue in Pakistan as they go into higher grades. And so you always have somebody within the family member who has good education helping those kids to make sure they make it to the next grades.
ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਬਜ਼ੀ ਖਾਣਾ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੀ ਸ਼ਾਮਾਂ ਪੈ
And
ਜਾਂਦੀ
so then there's like the cooking and cleaning and then taking care of the kids when they come back. So life is very busy with us, with the 5 kids, but I'm very happy. Sham nu jab jande ho to fir bachchiyan da ki haal hunda hai.
ਬਾਹਰੋਂ ਗੱਡੀ ਨੂੰ ਹਾਰਨ ਮਾਰੀ ਦਾ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਦੌੜ ਲਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ
As soon as they hear my, I ride a motorbike, so as soon as they hear my bike, they come running to the door, and so it makes me very happy as a father.
ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨਾਲੋਂ ਛੋਟਾ ਬੇਟਾ ਉਹਨੇ ਭੱਜ ਕੇ ਆਣਾ ਕਿ ਗੱਡੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਖਾਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਟੈਂਕੀ ਪਰ ਲਾ ਕੇ
And it says my youngest one is constantly looking for what's the treat that dad's bringing for them today. So
ਇਹ ਆ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਇਹੋ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਸਾਰੇ ਦੌੜਨਾ
all these guys here, it's the same issue. They face the same challenge with their kids. They're all looking to see what dads are bringing home. So it's a pretty good life. Everybody's enjoying a wonderful family life working at Bunyaad. Kill me some push So yeah, so everybody's very happy working with Bunyaad.
So Yousaf, can you reposition yourself so that
Yes.
we can see, and we're also gonna rate how you get up from the ground versus how
I did.
we get up from the ground.
ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਉੱਠਦਾ ਆ ਹੁਣ ਬਈ ਵੀ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਉੱਠਦੇ ਬਈ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਉੱਠਦਾ
Okay, now that's just a show off. All right, everybody
It's
at
not that
home,
easy, getting up. It doesn't matter.
everybody at home, if you want a little bit of morning exercise, see if you can get off to the floor as easily as me.
Yeah, he said, getting down is much easier.
Is that
Well,
Imran with his coaster making?
Yeah.
Yes,
I was
so
gonna
he
say, head
is.
over to coaster finishing.
हाँ जी जी इमरान अपना तारुफ कराओ जी.
My name is Imran.
Hi, Imran.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
good. I'm good. And you?
Imran is expert coaster finisher. So you want to check his speed. Watch how he finishes. He can even do this by not looking.
He's so fast. Wow.
He can do this without even looking at it.
Wow.
He's known to also put like a scarf on his finger, on his eyes, and then he can do this totally blinded. So just gives you an idea his level of expertise. Okay, dobara ek shuru karo ji. So he's gonna start a new one just so you can see how he does coasters.
This is finishing off the fringes on a coaster.
Should have like a minute to win it challenge.
Wow, so fast. Can't even see his hands moving.
So
That's amazing.
everybody has their trade
So
figured out.
go over to fringe tying and some of the, I think what was awesome, Yousaf, is the in-flight entertainment showed them the various steps that would be happening if it was daylight. But
Yeah.
you can see that many of them you were able to have working tonight. So like show some of the steps, especially that Black Mori Bakara. That to me is overwhelming.
So this is where artisan put a wrong knot by mistake, a different color. They didn't realize because they were not seeing the rest of the rug, and that's what's getting corrected now. It's part of the
So you
rug,
saw in
but
the video.
somehow instead of black, they used all the light colors. So that's something gets fixed by the artisans here.
Nancy says impressive.
Yeah.
Very.
And the video that we were able to pull together earlier showed you both the front where the needle is going in and the underneath where they're pulling it through, and then that will get sheared. What's going on here, Yousaf? Introduce us to
This is they're finishing the tying new edges, new fringes, and this is sort of like the tail end of the finishing, where you pick about 4 strings and then it gets tied together.
Introduce us to who's
Wow.
working on that
Yeah,
piece, Yousaf.
this whole group of artisans, they come together from the same village community. So they all know each other, their kids know each other. They pretty much ride together on motorbikes every day. And they also share their rides. So this way you have a fuel cost savings. So it's a pretty amazing group of people. सब लोग भाई सारे एक जगह तो आंदे ना? Yeah. Yeah, they work together, they eat together, they ride together. So this is a group of artisans that they are friends.
Now, there is one person in particular that I would like you to introduce us to. We have already heard some of his work, but throughout the evening, we'll be hearing a lot more, and that is Riyasat. Could you show us what Riyasat is doing and just introduce us to him so folks know the man behind the music?
रियासत अपना भी जरा तारुफ कराएं, ठीक है? और Riyasat is an amazing singer also. That's totally out of love that he does that. वो गाना सुना दे मुझे. Yeah, and he basically entertains this group. So this is not just something he did for us. That's what they do during the day. He's often the one who's singing and entertains everybody.
Well, and Yousaf, as he told us earlier, if everyone is really good on this flight in Pakistan, he will entertain us at the end, correct?
Yes, exactly.
All right, so we have to be really good on this flight.
नहीं बलेंदा डोले दी मर्जी चिट्टा चोला दर्जी नहीं बलेंदा डोले दी मर्जी चिट्टा चोला दिवे दर्जी नहीं बलेंदा डोले दी मर्जी चिट्टा चोला किनारी कच्ची निकली डोले दियारी चिट्टा चोला पीवे दर्जी नहीं बलेंदा डोले दी मर्जी चिट्टा चोला आया है बारों और ओंदे निकले यारां दे शारों चिट्टा चोला पीवे दर्जी नहीं मनेंदा डोले दी मर्जी.
बहुत शुक्रिया. So this is a very traditional Saraiki song.
There's some comments coming in that his voice is beautiful and as beautiful as the rug.
कह रहे भी जिस तरह क्लीन सोने ना उस तरह ये गाना भी सोना है he's like just like absolutely shriveling and the people he's saying thank you very much for appreciating my voice.
So Yousaf, it is time. Your next flight is so that you can fly to the first floor here and meet with Wajid from the director of watching. So would you like to put on your wings and see if you can fly down 4 flights?
Wonderful.
Meanwhile,
I'm getting ready.
we'll turn on some in-flight entertainment since Wajid's work is normally done during the day. Obviously, it's really hard to show you washing at night, so we have compiled a little bit of in-flight entertainment so you can see Wajid and his crew at work and washing.
चिट्टा चोला सिर दर्जी नहीं बलेंदा डोले दी मर्जी चिट्टा चोला सिर दर्जी नहीं बलेंदा डोले दी मर्जी चिट्टा चोला नहीं किनारी ओ सखी निकली डोले दी यारी चिट्टा चोला सिर दर्जी नहीं बलेंदा डोले दी मर्जी चिट्टा चोला आया बारों रोंदे निकले यारां दे शहरों चिट्टा चोला सिर दर्जी नहीं बलेंदा डोले दी मर्जी चिट्टा चोला लाइए माया माही मेरा नहीं मिल आया चिट्टा चोला सिर दर्जी नहीं बलेंदा डोले दी मर्जी
Well, all right.
I do believe Yousaf's flight has been delayed as he's coming down 4 flights of stairs. So just one moment, he'll be here in just one moment. I think this airport is only a 10-minute delay. How about you, Wajid?
Should turn off this.
I will, just.
Welcome back, Yousaf.
Thank you. We're here with Wajid, who's in charge of the rug washing. During the day, he has a crew of 4 or 5 people. What he was sharing with me was that, you know, compared to what they used to have before COVID, the numbers have changed, numbers have gone down. So, you know, that's something they really, really hope that, you know, we could get back to our normal days like it used to be pre-COVID. So
What was
Wajid.
the normal days, numbers wise?
About 12 to 13 people. So unfortunately, with the with COVID and floods in Pakistan, that has you know, the production went down, and the have been coming in from material supplies, and even for about 1.5 years, they even had bleach that is used for rug washing wasn't available to them because a lot of bleach was used for sanitizers. So it's slowly coming back to the normal numbers. So, but hopefully it's looking positive, and they're very hopeful about that.
So introduce me.
Wajid? Yeah. अपने बारे दसो जरा. So tell, Wajid has been working with Bunyaad for over 20 years now.
ਸਰ ਬੁਨਿਆਦ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਂ ਕੁਕਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਆਇਆ ਸੀ
So Bunyaad, he started as actually cooking food here.
5 ਸਾਲ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕੁਕਿੰਗ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ
About 5 years, that's what he did. And the reason I say cooking, because he At Bunyaad, the daily meals are freshly made here on the premises with the idea that everybody has a healthy and equal meal. So, and purposely designed with the idea that everybody's dietary needs are met. So that menu is designed collectively. So that means they do, you know, they mix vegetables to beans to meat about 2 days a week. So there's quite a balance for that.
So have Wajid tell us a little bit more about what does it take to wash a rug?
ਜ਼ਰਾ ਦੱਸੋ ਕਲੀਨ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਕਿ ਕਲੀਨ ਨੂੰ ਧੋਈਦਾ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਦੇਰ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਟਾਈਮ
ਕਲੀਨ ਸਰ ਕਲੀਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਕਲੀਨ ਦੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਲੀਨ ਦੀ ਵਾਸ਼ਿੰਗ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਮੌਸਮ ਦੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ
so it's between the weather also the type of rug it is it could take many days so depending on the circumstances and the type of wash type of the colors
ਕਲੀਨ ਵਾਸ਼ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਉਸਤਾਦ ਮੇਰੇ ਹਸਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਜੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਮੈਂ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ
so Hassan is who's is sort of like the mentor when it comes to rug washing they consult before they start
ਇੱਕ ਟੁਕੜਾ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਧੋਣਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਨਾ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛ ਕੇ ਫਿਰ
so it doesn't matter if it's one rug or 10 we basically first look at the rug and we sort of plan a strategy together with the idea that each rug should have its own unique personality. अपना धुआई करदे किस तरह शुरू होया कितनी देर हो so how long it's been since you're doing washing and what led you into washing in the first place?
20 ਸਾਲ ਸਰ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਨੇ ਵਾਸ਼ਿੰਗ ਕਰਦੇ
so 20 years since he's done the rug washing
20 ਸਾਲ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ ਬੁਨਿਆਦ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ
in 20 years that he's been part of Bunyaad
ਤੇ ਬੜਾ ਅੱਛਾ ਕਾਰੋਬਾਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਬੁਨਿਆਦ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਰਨੇ ਤੇ ਬੜਾ ਮਜ਼ਾ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ
so you know we really enjoy working with Bunyaad it's like exciting for us to be part of Bunyaad
ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹਾਂ ਬੁਨਿਆਦ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ
we're very happy working with Bunyaad
ਸਾਡੇ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਅਖਰਾਜਾਤ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਬੜੇ ਅੱਛੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਡੀ ਦਾਰੋਗੀ ਚੱਲਦੀ
our you know our needs are met our you know for me and my family you know it's providing us with the balance you know income for everybody ਕਿੰਨੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੇ ਔਰ ਫਿਰ ਦੱਸੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਤਾਲੀਮ ਦਾ ਬਾਰੇ ਦੱਸੋ
ਮੇਰੇ 5 ਬੱਚੇ ਨੇ ਜੀ
5 kids
ਵੱਡੀ ਬੇਟੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਫਸਟ ਈਅਰ
ਕਿੰਨੇ ਬੇਟੀਆਂ ਔਰ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਬੇਟੇ
4 ਬੇਟੀਆਂ ਨੇ
so he has 4 daughters and 1 son
ਇੱਕ ਬੇਟਾ
okay is in 11th grade
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਛੋਟੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਉਹ 10th ਚ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੀ
oh she's in 10th okay
ਜੀ ਫਿਰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹਦੇ ਤੋਂ ਛੋਟੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ 8th ਚ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੀ
and then it's 8th grade
ਜੀ
ਫਿਰ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ
ਸਕੂਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਵੀ ਛੋਟੀ ਹੈ
ਕਿਹੜੇ ਚ
4 ਵਿੱਚ ਬੇਟਾ ਪੜ੍ਹਦਾ
so the one son is the 4th grade and then 6th grade
ਹਾਂਜੀ 2 ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਛੋਟੀ
oh and then 2nd grade also
ਜੀ
so ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਕੀ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਯੂਨੀ ਕੀ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਕਿ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ ਜਦੋਂ
ਬੱਚੇ ਮਾਸ਼ਾਅੱਲਾ ਛੋਟੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਬੇਟੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਫਸਟ ਈਅਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਜ਼ੇਨ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਬਣਾਂਗੀ
so his oldest daughter wants to be a doctor
ਜੀ ਛੋਟੀ ਬੇਟੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ ਸੌਫਟਵੇਅਰ ਇੰਜੀਨੀਅਰ ਦਾ
and then the next one wants to be a software engineer
ਜੀ ਉਹਦੇ ਤੋਂ ਛੋਟੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਸਕੂਲ ਟੀਚਰ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ
and then one wants to be a school teacher
ਸਕੂਲ ਟੀਚਿੰਗ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ
so there's quite a list of things that the kids want to do ਆਪਣੀ ਬੀਵੀ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਦੱਸੋ ਕਬੀਓ ਕੀ ਕਰ
ਹਾਂ ਬੀਵੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਵਾਈਫ ਮੇਰੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਸਵੇਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਡਿਊਟੀ ਹੈ
ਅੱਛਾ
ਕਿ ਖਾਣਾ ਤਿਆਰ ਕਰਕੇ ਟਾਈਮ ਨਾਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਗੱਡੀ 'ਚ ਬਿਠਾ ਕੇ ਤੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਦੂਰ ਹੈ ਸਕੂਲ
so his wife lives in the village very close to the Kashmir Valley and he says my wife basically gets them all ready in the morning and then she actually drives them to school
ਜੀ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਛੁੱਟੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਫਿਰ ਲੈਣ ਜਾਣਾ
and then she also picks them up from school as well so her day is pretty much booked between taking care of all the kids
So I have a question, because I think so many people, Wajid, will say, oh my goodness, I don't know. I'll get one of these rugs once the kids are older and the dog is dead. How would I ever wash a rug?
यानी भी मतलब बहुत सारे लोग सोचते ने कि ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਦੀਨ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉਹਦਾ ਘਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਗੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਘਰ ਕੋਈ ਕੁੱਤਾ ਬਿੱਲੀ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਤੇ
ਹਾਂ,
ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ
ਸਫਾਈ
ਲੇਕਿਨ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਵੀ ਕਲੀਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਕਿੱਡੇ ਆਸਾਨ ਹੈ ਸਾਫ਼ ਕਰਨਾ ਇਹਦੀ ਕਲੀਨ ਨੂੰ 20 ਸਾਲ ਬਾਅਦ ਵੀ ਧੋਵੋ ਤੇ
What would you tell to them to say, don't worry?
ਕੀ ਕਹੋਗੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿ ਕੋਈ ਪਰਵਾਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ
ਨਹੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਮਸਲਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਜੀ, ਅਸੀਂ ਇਨਸ਼ਾਅੱਲਾ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਡਾ ਕੰਮ ਆ ਉਹ।
ਨਹੀਂ ਮਤਲਬ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਘਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਲੀਨ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕਲੀਨ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਫ਼ ਧੋਣਾ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ
ਜੀ
ਆਸਾਨ ਕੰਮ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਕੰਮ ਤੇ ਜੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਿਲ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਘਰ ਵਾਲਾ ਕਲੀਨ
ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਵਾਸ਼ ਕਰਨਾ।
ਨਹੀਂ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਧੁੱਪ ਕੇ ਕਲੀਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਠੀਕ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ
ਇਨਸ਼ਾਅੱਲਾ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਉਹ
Is it, you know, God willing, the rug looks
New.
should be fine, like new, even after 20 years of use. So don't worry. You enjoy your rug with the family and kids as well.
And just what maybe is some things that Bunyaad does differently than some of the other rug washing that's out there?
ਕਿ ਬੁਨਿਆਦ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਫਰਕ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ ਦੂਸਰੀਆਂ ਧੁਆਈਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲੋਂ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਕੰਪਨੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲੋਂ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਹ ਬੁਨਿਆਦ ਦੇ ਕਲੀਨ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਫਰਕ ਹੁੰਦਾ
ਤੇ ਬੁਨਿਆਦ ਦੇ ਕਲੀਨ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੀ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਬੁਨਿਆਦ ਦੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਅੱਛੀ ਹੈ।
He said, first of all, the quality of the rugs is very high to begin with.
ਜੀ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਣਾ ਬੁਨਿਆਦ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਅੱਛਾ ਸੀ ਕੈਮੀਕਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰਨੇ ਹਨ।
He said, even when we use the bleach, we use the best quality bleach to wash the rug.
ਤੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਵੂਲ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਵਾਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਵੂਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ।
He said, it's not the wool used in these rugs is premium quality. So it's not just any rug. You have to know what you're doing. So the whole idea is that these rugs take a special care. And the deal is that these rugs are designed to last a very long time.
ਤੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਕਲੀਨ ਵੀ ਸਾਡਾ ਬਿਹਤਰ ਔਰ ਵਾਸ਼ਿੰਗ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਤਿਆਰੀ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਅੱਛੀ ਹੈ
And so, you know,
ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨਾਲ।
and then compared to everybody else, our rug quality is amazing and the finishing is amazing too. So that's like a generally known by everybody here in Lahore and in Pakistan.
ਜੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬੜੀ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਸਾਡਾ ਕੰਮ ਕੁਝ ਲੋਕ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਬੜੇ ਹੈਰਾਨ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਕੁਝ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਤੇ ਕਿਸ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਇੱਥੋਂ
He
ਤੱਕ
said, you know, I take a great joy and pride in telling you that how many times we get to hear what amazing work Bunyaad does. The quality rugs are produced at Bunyaad and the finishing that is done. So he said, you know, they come to see that work and that's pretty amazing and pretty rewarding to see those kind of comments.
ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਅੱਲਾਹ ਕੇ ਦੁਆ ਕਰਨੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਬੁਨਿਆਦ ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਅੱਲਾਹ ਖੈਰ ਕਰੇ ਤੇ ਬੁਨਿਆਦ ਦੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਅੱਛੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਤਰੱਕੀ ਹੋਏ।
He said, we hope and pray that Bunyaad continue to thrive like this because it means a lot to their families, to their community, and it means a lot to the rug industry as well.
ਬੁਨਿਆਦ ਅੱਛੀ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਰਹੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਚੁੱਲ੍ਹਾ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਰਹੇ।
He said Bunyaad provides, you know,
Chef.
does well. We provide a good, we meet our children's needs and their future.
ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੰਮ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਬੁਨਿਆਦ।
So, you know, we hope we get more work in going forward.
Well, that's what we're working for too, so I totally agree, Wajid.
ਅਸੀਂ ਦਿਨ ਰਾਤ ਕੰਮ ਕਰੀਏ।
He said we love to work hard, so we're not shy of work.
Well, Yousaf, now it is time to bid Wajid goodbye, and you need to take a short flight over to the finishing department. So while you're doing that, it's time for another piece of in-flight entertainment for part-time rug designers who are teachers by day and rug designers by afternoon. So if you would join us.
चिट्टा चोला सीवे दर्जी नहीं बलेंदा डोले दी मर्जी चिट्टा चोला सीवे दर्जी नहीं बलेंदा डोले दी मर्जी चिट्टा चोला लई किनारी ओ कच्ची निकली डोले दी यारी चिट्टा चोला सीवे दर्जी नहीं बलेंदा डोले दी मर्जी चिट्टा चोला आया बारों रोंद निकले यारां दे शहरों चिट्टा चोला सीवे दर्जी नहीं बलेंदा डोले दी मर्जी चिट्टा चोला ਬਣਾਇਆ ਚਿੱਟਾ ਚੋਲਾ ਸੀਵੇ ਦਰਜੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਲੇਂਦਾ ਡੋਲੇ ਦੀ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ
I love birds. I love sketching birds.
चिट्टा चोला सीवे दर्जी नहीं बलेंदा डोले दी मर्जी
So when we put together this video, we understood that these three amazing women would not be able to join us tonight because it is exam season here in Pakistan, and being teachers, they need to be up early tomorrow to administer the exams. And then we got a surprise. They're joining us tonight by way of Zoom from their homes. They all joined together, so I'd like to welcome the three women who are going to be just telling you a lot more about what they do. Yousaf, I'll let you take it from there.
So Tahreem is one of the teacher, who they came to, talk to connect with us. So they're all three teachers from the St. John School. That is one of the schools since 1977 working in the community and educating about 150 students every year. About 15 to 17 students graduate to go to high school, and that's an amazing achievement that has been done over years. So,
I'll let them introduce.
yeah, Miss, आप अपना तारुफ कराएं, ठीक है?
अच्छा, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। मैं तहरीम हूँ और मैं टीचर के साथ साथ डिजाइनिंग भी करती हूँ।
We can't hear you. आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है। जरा ऊंची जरा बोलें, sorry. हाँ, या बात है। Okay.
जी, मेरा नाम तहरीम है और
My
मैं
name is Tahreem.
जी
We can all hear them on our side. I think it might be the audio on at your side, Jenni and Yousaf.
Okay. You
आवाज
guys
नहीं
are
आ
on. Okay.
All right.
Good, good. Here.
बताओ ना।
So you have to tell them, introduce themselves.
अब मिस अपना तारुफ कराएं और अपने मुताल्लिक बताएं कौन सी क्लास में पढ़ाती हैं और कितनी देर से डिजाइनिंग कर रहे हैं और क्यों डिजाइनिंग में क्यों आई कर रही हैं डिजाइनिंग।
मुझे टीचिंग करते तकरीबन इस स्कूल में 3-4 इयर्स हो गए और डिजाइनिंग करते 1.5 ईयर हुआ है।
She's been teaching for about 3 to 4 years, and from rug designing she got involved with about a year and a half now.
Wow.
और rug designing में आपका क्यों शौक पड़ा?
मुझे मेहंदी में एक्सपर्ट थी, डिजाइन लगाती थी, तो शुरू से ऐसे डिजाइनिंग का था, फ्लावर वगैरह बनाने का शौक था, सो इसी वजह से बस।
So she used to love doing the henna on hands. So for her, this was a natural transition. So she felt like she can move into rug designing. That would fulfill her artistic passion. So she's learning to do all kinds of designs.
Well, that's
And actually some of the work all three of them have done already has made it to the US.
Okay, sweet. All right.
Miss, आप दूसरे टीचर्स भी अपना तारुफ कराएं जरा।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम, मेरा नाम अलीजा है और मैं 3 क्लास को पढ़ाती हूँ, टीचिंग भी करती हूँ साथ।
This is Aliza. She teaches a 3rd grade and also a rug designer. She's the one who loves designing birds. And I have a rug actually is hanging behind me, a design that she did right on the wall. That's a lot of the work that you see in that rug, in that design is her work. And there's even another design that she's working on. So she's a pretty gifted individual when it comes to birds and natural scenes.
How did they start as rug designers, Yousaf?
So first of all, like she said, one of the Tahreem said she used to do henna designing. Henna designing is very similar designs that rugs used. So she already had a good training with that, or just the love and the passion. So she, felt like I need to expand on my artwork and the rug designing, finding that Bunyaad had a rug design department. So it was pretty easy for her to transition into that. So all three of them actually asked to join the design department.
Wow. All right.
Miss, आप भी अपना तारुफ कराएं।
आज वो महक शुक्र है
Miss Mahak, आ जाए आप।
मेरा नाम महक है और मैं पहले स्कूल में टीचिंग करती थी। 9th क्लास को पढ़ाती थी, मैं टीच करती थी 9th क्लास को। उसके बाद सर कैसर ने मुझे अपॉर्चुनिटी दी कि हमें ये अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली, तो हमें इंटरेस्ट ज्यादा हुआ। वैसे मुझे इंटरेस्ट था फैशन डिजाइनिंग में, तो उससे आगे बढ़ते बढ़ते ऐसे।
She started teaching for 3 years. 9th grade she teaches. Mahak also has her teaching degree. She has a master's and has a teaching degree, and so she loves teaching. But also at the same time, she said, "I'm a fashion designer, so I love art, and for me to have a teaching and be able to combine my love for art in the same work, that was pretty amazing. So this is like a very unique opportunity for me. And the fact that my friends and I can do this together, that makes it even a wonderful opportunity for her."
That's awesome.
Is there anything you'd like everyone here to know about you?
कोई ऐसी चीज जो आप बताना चाहते हैं सब लोग, जो दूसरों को पता चले आपके मतलब
Yes, then we should get to sleep.
कि ताकि लोगों को अंदाजा हो कि आपकी जो काम है वो कितना नायाब और कितना फर्क। बुनियाद के स्कूलों में जब आप काम कर रहे हैं, साथ में पढ़ा रही हैं और साथ में डिजाइन कर रही हैं, ये कोई आम सी चीज है?
जी नहीं, इतना इजी नहीं है, लेकिन करते करते फिर शौक पैदा होता गया। अब हम एंजॉय करते हैं, साथ साथ काम करते हैं, अब एंजॉय भी करते हैं साथ।
So she said, even though the rug designing is not an easy task, but because we love the art, we are very much enjoying that the fact we can do two things all at once at Bunyaad. So that's a pretty unique opportunity for us.
Well, I want to thank you for staying up so late. I know how early school starts because we hear the school bell right across in our room here in Lahore. So thank you so much for staying up. We will bid you good night.
स्कूल के अभी सुबह आप लोगों ने जल्दी जाना, स्कूल बच्चों के लिए एग्जाम्स हो रहे हैं, तो हम बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करते हैं आप लोगों का कि आप लोगों ने इतना टाइम निकाला हमारे लिए और हमारे सब लोगों के लिए। तो अभी आप लोग आराम करें ताकि सुबह बच्चों को स्कूल में जाके आप देख सकें।
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. So now we're going to take you to the rest of the design department here in the Bunyaad warehouse, where these guys have been patiently waiting because we have lots of steps that we want to show you about rug designing. We are going to be a little bit down and dirty we want to show you things up and close. So I'm going to go to a mobile phone. Yousaf, you're going to head over and we'll see what we can do. So just bear with us for just a sec. Again, we are going to try to keep this to, maybe just a little past an hour because we want to leave time for question and answer. So Yousaf, let me get the phone. And hold on a sec. All right. Unmute.
All right, Yousaf, who are you here with today?
I'm right now standing next to nickname Haji Anwar. His actual name is Anwar. कितने साल हो गए डिजाइन का काम करने में? How many years? It's 20 years working with Bunyaad, doing this design work. He tells me that his cousins and his family members were rug designers. So he always had the passion and seeing everybody else talking about design, he felt like he was natural into rug designing. So you can see some of the.
So Haji, what are you doing?
So this is a Persian rug that he's working on designing, size key. This is a 6x9 that he's working on.
Wow.
So that is water
All the
paint.
different colors, that water paint that he's adding to the graph here.
So
Those are tiny squares.
Yousaf, I was going to say there's tiny squares. So each square, tell us what each square represents, Anwar.
So can it be about 30 knots that he's just finished.
Wow.
How long? So this is how long will it take him to paint?
So about 15 days that he'll spend doing this work. Now, what he does, he's basically giving a sort of a blueprint of a design. That means the artisan is the one who finally figures out what colors and how it needs to be rearranged. But he's sort of the architect of the rug making. And then, the builder and the artisan is the builder and the planner. So artisan then dictates in the end how it all happens.
Wow.
All right. So let's go to.
So I'm married, he has 3 kids. So he has 3 kids, 9th, 7th, 6th, and 6th grade. So the kids are all in school, 9th, 7th, and 6th.
Well, now we'll have new appreciation for when we look at each rug to know of all the detail that you into it through painting, color, co-worker.
We're designer and sort of the head of the department. His work means that he specializes in a lot of the animals and birds, but also he's expert in many other things. कितने साल हो गए मतलब उधर गल करना काम कर रहे हैं तकरीबन 12 साल हो गए इतने कम कर देंगे total 25 years. So 25 years of the rug designing experience, 12 years at Bunyaad.
And what's he working on right now?
He's working on different birds. Coastal. This is for rug coasters. Yes, sir. So with this, so yellow bird. Yeah, that's bluebird. Is a bluebird and a yellow bird.
Looks like a goldfish.
And then he's working with some flowers. So he has multiple rug designs that he's working on. How many different designs that you're working on like simultaneously that you say, I'm gonna work here for 2 days and then I'm gonna go do something else. So at a time. So about 2 to 3 different designs that he's constantly working all at the same time. That's his way of basically, just to make sure that you don't lose your, attention to detail. So he's constantly working on different designs with the idea that it's always exciting work. Yeah.
Cool. No, thank you so much. Oh, I have one question because I believe we saw him earlier as he was working with the women as he is the master teacher. So how did he start teaching people how to design rugs?
ਉਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਆਪਣਾ ਸਕੂਲ ਟੀਚਰ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਕਸ਼ੇ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਸਿਖਾ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਉਹ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਯਾਨੀ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਮਤਲਬ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਦੇਰ ਤੋਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸਿਖਾਉਂਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਾਲੀਨ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ
ਸਰ ਮੈਂ ਕੰਮ ਦੇ ਆਰਟ ਬਚਪਨ ਤੋਂ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਟੀਚਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਿਖਾਉਣਾ ਤੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ 1.5 ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ
So he's been teaching them for a year and a half now. किस तरह का तरीके का So the first of all, he introduces the graph. So this helps them to know how you design a rug. This tells them sort of the outline of everything.
पहले सर्कल बनाने सिखाई सर्कल दे नाल बकाया फुल वगैरह
So first they make little circles. So the whole idea is giving them an outline, helping to understand how you layer designs, how you layer flowers, how you layer leaves, and then how you bring a balance in everything. Can you get like routine which can you like designing designing
Sir, एक balance अगर वो समझ आ जाए तो जल्दी मतलब 2-3 महीने की
अच्छा he said some people are very good at it. They can learn everything in 3-4 months. Round routines you can do it's like anywhere from 1 to 2 years is pretty normal for most people to learn. And then that doesn't mean you just learn the basics. Then when you start designing your own thing, ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਕੋਈ ਨਕਸ਼ਾ ਬਣਾਉਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਕੋਈ ਕਾਰੀਗਰ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸਾਲ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਦਾ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਚ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਯਾਰ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਗਿਆ ਕਿ
ਸਰ ਮੇਰੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਨੇ 2 ਸਾਲ 3 ਸਾਲ ਲੱਗ ਗਏ
ਨਹੀਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਖੁਦ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਲੱਗ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹ ਇਸ ਕਾਬਲ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਜੀ ਹੁਣ ਉਸਤਾਦ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ
ਸਰ ਆਈਡੀਆ ਤੇ ਫੌਰਨ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਮਤਲਬ ਕਿ ਬਕਾਇਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਕਲ ਮਹੀਨਾ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦਾ
ਨਹੀਂ ਮਤਲਬ ਜਦੋਂ ਖੁਦ ਉਹ ਕੋਈ ਕਾਰੀਗਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸ਼ਾਗਿਰਦ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ
ਜੀ
ਉਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਜੀ ਆ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਆ ਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਖੁਦ ਹੁਣ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਉਹ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ
ਉਹ ਸਰ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ ਸਾਲ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ
he said minimum 1 year just to know get to the basic stuff. So that's where it's like very important you spend a lot of time learning this.
Wow, amazing. All right, so we're going to just give you a quick view of some of the graphs that he's been working on. This is 1616, 4.5 by 7. So it's over 500 knots per square inch. It's being graphed here. And this is another 4.5 by 7 that they're working on.
Wow.
And I will take you from this graph to who Yousaf is with next.
Sunil. We're talking to Sunil. Sunil is a rug designer. Sunil has a long rug history with his family. His grandmother, his father, his aunts, everybody's been rug makers. Yes.
So obviously, Sunil, you have some amazing detail here. Tell us, what is your favorite type of rugs to design?
That's gorgeous.
Design ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਇਨੀ ਨਕਸ਼ਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਸੰਦੀਦਾ ਨਕਸ਼ਾ ਪਰਮਿਆਂ ਵਾਲਾ ਜਾਂ ਚੰਚਤੇ ਵਾਲਾ ਕਿਸ
सर डिजाइन बनाने से पहले सर कुछ चीजें इकट्ठी की जाती हैं नक्शे के मुताबिक
लेकिन मतलब पसंदीदा
सर यही है कि मैं
चंचते वाला
जो भी बनाता हूँ
he said at the end at the day whatever I do with the full passion. It doesn't matter if it's a rug with just a center medallion or rug with the birds and animals. So to me, everything I take it to my heart and I do with a full passion. So all the work that you see that I've done, you'll understand the quality workmanship that I put into it.
That's awesome.
It's about 16 to 17 years that he's been designing.
लेकिन सर मेरे उस्ताद ने मुझे 3-4 साल के बाद बोला था कि तुम नक्शा बना सकते
So he said, for me, hearing the conversation, it took me about 3 to 4 years before my teacher said, yes, you are now able to design your own rugs.
Wow.
So
awesome.
even though I'm pretty skilled when it comes to rugs, but that's what it really took me to do about 3 to 4 years.
Fantastic.
और सर मेरे लंदन ये काम करते थे क्लीन बुनने का और उनका ये शौक था कि मैं ये डिजाइन
So my parents, the rug makers, both my mom and dad, and for them, it was their desire that I learned the rug design. To them, that was sort of something that they always wanted to do, but they were hoping that one of their child would learn to do this, because not everybody in his family is working with the rugs anymore. But he is continuing the rug designing as something that was very much talked about in his family.
Well, they must be very proud.
So he said, I'm very happy that my parents are very happy, and they feel like they fulfilled their dream. So how about your children? He has 4 kids, 3 daughters, and 1 son. And he said, my son is too young to know anything. And he said, I hope that my son someday follows my footsteps. If this trade's still around when he's grown up.
That's awesome. So now let's head over. Thank you so much. Let's head over to the 2 men that hardly ever look up, because if they do look up, something might go wrong with one of the rugs. These are 2 of Bunyaad talim riders. Yousaf, tell us more about what is a talim and who we're talking with today.
His name is Hassan Gilani. 30 years of talim riding. Bunyaad. So at Bunyaad 6 years.
Explain what is talim for those that don't understand.
Explain.
Let me come behind him here. All right, everybody. Sorry to make you a little dizzy. All right, so explain what you're doing.
ये ग्राफ पे सारी डिजाइनिंग होती है, ये खाने बने हुए हैं,
So it's like those squares, and so
इन खानों की हमने तादाद लिखनी है 7 रंगों के,
takes the count of how many boxes are there.
साथ साथ ये रंगों के निशान
And those are the symbols of colors that he's using in this rug.
Wow.
So
he's making a chart of that first. So that's like the outline of what he's going to do.
ये तादाद लिख रहे हैं खानों की, और साथ साथ जो जो रंग आ रहा है उसका हम
And then he's writing the colors.
निशाना भी दे रहे हैं.
अच्छा जी, चलो तालम लिखो, तो दिखाओ किस तरह किस जगह पे काम कर रहे हैं तुसी, so निशान लगा के दसो.
ठीक.
So he's now going to tell you exactly where he's working at right now.
ये एक दालचीनी है.
So that's one of the 10.
एक सफेद है.
That's one of the off-white colors.
ये एक संभली है.
And then one is blue.
एक सफेद है.
And then one is white.
एक संभली है.
And then it's blue again.
फिर एक सफेद है.
And then white again.
एक दालचीनी है.
And then it's also the 10 golden.
एक संभली है.
And then blue again.
एक सफेद है.
And then white again.
All right. So every color, I'm going to show you here on the chart. Every color has a symbol. And then he writes the color and then the number above it.
Wow. And why did they turn it into a language rather than look at the pattern?
कहने भाई तालम क्यों लिखने की जरूरत पैंदी है ਜਦੋਂ ग्राफ जो है
सब ग्राफ से तालम से ही वो सारा खड्डी पर फिर कालीन बना जाता है.
नहीं मतलब की जरूरत है पैंदी, क्यों जरूरत पैंदी है दी
शुरू से यही तरीके का चल रहा है.
अगर ग्राफ तो फॉलो करने तक कितना मुश्किल होएगा.
हाँ जी, मुश्किल होगा. इससे मुश्किल होगा. ये आसानी के लिए है कि जो कारीगर की आसानी के लिए.
So talim writing helps artisans speed up the process. Otherwise, when you look at a graph like this, what he's working on, or something like this, it is such a tedious work. Somebody would have to constantly look down and barely tie a knot that you can do normally 40 knots a minute. It will be not even 20 knots a minute. किन्ने फंदे लाएंगे एक मिनट दे विच अगर ਇਹਦੇ ਤੋਂ ਨਕਸ਼ੇ ਤੋਂ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਣਾ. ये अगर ग्राफ को देख के ये आ रहा है क्लिक करने के लिए ये वैसे मतलब कि देखो तो जल्दी जल्दी पढ़ के कर सकते हैं तो ये अगर वैसे करना पड़े तो
इस तरह क्योंकि टाइम ज्यादा लगेगा।
so it's like you can say pretty much more than double the time that it would take to do that work. So it's a pretty, this works helps artisan speed up their work. And when a rug takes already more than a year, you need that time saving, you know, maybe slashing from 24 months to 11 to 12 months. And that's a pretty crucial work that he's doing.
The other thing I want to show behind Yousaf is behind all the designers are the columns and then the graphs of things that have been past produced.
And preserved.
And preserved.
This is sort of the first time all these designs have been preserved. And so they can pull out anything, even 20 years ago, a customer comes in and says, I bought this rug, you know, 20 years ago. They have the graph sitting here. They have the basic structure of the rug, so they know what needs to be, how it needs to be redone, as long as materials are available.
All right, so can you introduce the last two people? So we have
so 37 years of column writing. And 13 years of that is here at Bunyaad. 13 साल बुनियाद मेरा सबसे ज्यादा कम बुनियाद पे कितना ही कुछ और जगह थे so the longest time he's worked at any one place is Bunyaad, 13 years. Prior to this, he average कितने साल कम करते रहे एक जगह थे
3-4 जगह तक किया कितने 8 साल कितने
so about 3 to 4 different places that he's worked. And since then, once he's joined Bunyaad, 13 years he's been here.
All right.
And he hopes to retire there.
Now he's currently writing a column for an 8x10 over 500 knots per square inch. How many total column pages will that be till it's all said and done?
Oh, we're having trouble hearing. It's a little bit muffled. Sorry, your audio cut out for a bit there.
Looks like.
Can you hear us now?
Yep, you're clear again.
All right.
So one paper, that's 12 and 12. So that's a.
And so how many total 8x10 papers?
80.
80. Wow.
80?
That's a lot.
Oh my goodness.
Routine ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਲਾ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਾਲਮ
ਕਲੀਨ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ 12 ਵਾਰ
maximum 3 to 4 people will do 12 months.
Wow.
Yeah. He said that's pretty good achievement.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you, Latif. Now, I just want to ask Mansoor one question. Because here he is in the line of tons of people working, but he's surrounded by column writers who probably don't talk much.
ਨਾਲ ਤਾਲਮ ਲਿਖਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੈਠੇ ਲੈ ਸਾਰਾ ਦਿਨ ਮਜ਼ਦੂਰ ਨੂੰ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਪਸ਼ਪ ਲਾਉਣ ਦਾ ਮੌਕਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਹੈ
Does it get boring at this side of the design room?
It gets a little boring sometimes. They do listen to music, but also he's in charge of working with the artisans also. So anytime they need to communicate with the office, it starts with him in the first place when it comes to rug making. So his phone is busy during the day. So about 8 to 10 calls just working with the different artisans. So he's a busy man.
That's awesome.
So he wears more than one hat.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, in the interest of time, I know that there's a whole bunch of questions that have been coming in.
Yeah.
So why don't we sort of jump to some Q&A, unless Lauren Sander, you're going to tell me I missed something. Hold on, let's just take you around.
We're good for questions.
All right, so hold one second. Let me get you back over.
All
All
right.
right.
Okay.
All right. All right. So, you can stand over there.
There's one question we got a couple times about what the training process looks like, if everyone's trained there at the center or if they're trained out at the villages. What does rug training look like?
So we're coming back on.
Laura, Sandra, can you hear us?
So there's a mic on. Okay.
There we go. Can you hear us? Good.
Okay. Yes, we can hear you. Okay.
Perfect.
So generally speaking, a lot of the artisans start with a rug background, some kind of background. That sort of tends to be the majority. That doesn't mean they're not newcomers. For example, like Tanveer, never, he joined fresh. And that's one of the beauty of working at Bunyaad is that you may have a very basic knowledge, but then you can expand your horizon with any knowledge or any training you need. So like, for example, the teachers, the school teachers, one of them knew was how to do henna on hands. But the fact that she loved rug designing, so anywhere about 1 to 3 years is pretty common for most artisans to learn and to become an expert. But the best part is, while these artisans do any kind of work, they immediately start getting paid. And that's a huge benefit because most places during that time would not pay artisans any money. And anything, many times you have to get to places and put all the expenses in to learn that trade. So hence a lot of people can't follow their dreams for what they really want to do. So at Bunyaad, that dream is realized because they're given that opportunity. It doesn't matter if it's from home or if it's working with a group of people and everybody's willing to share their knowledge and their ideas with the artisan. So when a person gets known, they have a very diverse level of knowledge. And that's unique because of their training.
Awesome. All right. We had a question come in from Patricia. I'm just going to see if we can have Patricia ask it and open her video. Let's see. See if Patricia's still there.
You might
While
get
we're
a
waiting for Patricia, thank you to everyone for your patience tonight. This has been a huge undertaking of trying to get all the cameras working and staying online. So thank you for staying with us on this slightly longer than usual.
Say hi to Yousaf. Who's that? Who's that? Oh, is it?
Hello, Addison.
Hi, Addison.
I see we have one of our youngest Bunyaad rug customers joining us today.
Many rugs tried and tested by this guy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Addison, what's your question for us today? What to do if grape juice gets on the rug?
What was our
Or how
question?
you jump on the rug. That's great.
We were wondering if
Well, go ahead.
typically
Ask
work.
your question.
Well, we were wondering if everybody typically works this late. Are they there just for us?
Oh, this is a pretty special transmission, I would say. And
Is it?
we asked everybody who is willing to and would love to, and pretty much 100% of the group of people said we'd love to be part of this because we want to communicate directly the message that how wonderful this opportunity is and how thankful they are for having the work that everybody helps to provide. And, from their families, they wanted to thank you, and hence why they are here in person. We actually have a few other people sitting on the other side who thought they will also get the opportunity to say something. As a matter of fact, the last time we do cooking live from here, some of the people who didn't get this get the opportunity, they were like, it felt like they were left out. So even though it was done on a Sunday night last time too. So it's a pretty much an exciting thing for everybody to be able to connect directly with all of you, just like you want to talk to the artisans.
I think what Wahid said earlier this week when we were talking about sharing with you all, he sat there in the office and he said, but you must understand, Bunyaad is just one big family. I come to work and I come to be with family. And he said, I have to stop now. I'm starting to get teary. And I thought he was joking, and he wasn't. He said, this group of people, it's collaboration, it's support, and it is together. It is all about constantly working together to make a better product and a better life for all. So I think that just really stuck out to me. Thank you, Addison, for your question. I really appreciate it. Another thing to say is tonight did start with a huge round of chai before we went live on camera. And I know there are sweets or something around the corner for as soon as we end.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a bit of a celebration.
And actually, a dinner was already had by all before they started. And so this has been a fun-filled evening for all of us here as well.
So why don't we do we have one more question? Do we have time for one more question, Lauren Sander?
I think we could squeeze one. There's another one we've had a couple people asking about, and it's about the materials used. Mostly, is it wool in all of the rugs, or are there other materials?
Well, generally it's the wool, but also silk is a very important ingredient. A lot of rugs use silk highlights, especially when it comes to Persians. But then we've also seen sometimes that happens among the Chobi rugs also. But generally it's the Persians and the Bukhara rugs where artisans will combine two materials together. And for warp and weft, it tends to be the cotton or sometimes wool. Tribal rugs tend to have a wool on wool structure. So there you have a variety of mostly wool and cotton generally coming together.
Perfect.
And that's all locally sourced, of course. Pakistan is one of the top sheep population countries, so there's plenty of wool available here. If you go to the countryside, you'll see herds of sheep, and many times, depending on the time of the year, traffic gets stopped by the sheep, when you travel on the road.
Yeah, sometimes it is confusing because I don't know if you know, but bagpipes were actually originated in Pakistan. So there are times that you will see a group of bagpipers and then drive up a little bit further and get stopped by a herd of sheep that you have to wait to go past you until your car can go on. And so then you begin to go, where exactly am I? Scotland, Pakistan. So lots of similarities.
And the mountains in the north are very much like that. Pakistan does have lots of mountains, and last week we were in places there was lots of snow and there were sheep walking through. So it is definitely transport into a different world.
Great. Well, thank you all for being here, and just woke up long ago for some of you. Maybe you're just getting home from your afternoon dinner. So thank you for spending this time with us. We will be, as you probably noticed when you logged in, we did record this session, and in just a few days we will send out a link so that if it's useful and you want to show someone, you can watch it again. Before we say goodbye, just so that everyone here can see all of you who are united in fair trade and united in making the world a better place, do you mind turning on your camera so that they can see? And hey guys,
I'll do something.
I want them to see everyone who stands with Bunyaad as a family, because I think it's pretty darn awesome. Come on over. I think it's together as we work to make certain that it is a more just place for all. all of us need to be together. They need to, I think we need to see you and to know your excitement and your involvement in your own communities in helping to support a fair trade rug event in your area. There's over 40 different fair trade rug events throughout US and Canada this year. And you're, boy, talking over some people, miss her, you. If you want to know where you will be seeing us or the rugs, maybe someone, come on over here. All right. This is the rest of the family, everybody. Thank you. And should we teach them a little bit of Urdu, everyone? How do we tell them goodbye? Until next time.
Let me just,
Yeah, lift it up.
All right, we can't see them, but I think they can see us, so let's all give them a big
And if you
wave.
want to check.
There you go.
There they are. Good office.
This is not all of the group, so.
Good office. बहुत शुक्रिया, office.
Good office, and thanks for joining us, everyone.
बहुत शुक्रिया बहुत शुक्रिया भी सानू ज्वाइन करन दा वीडियो दे कोई गल करना चाहो? Thank you from all of us.